everyone. It's Open House Thursday. Welcome to the show. I am Mariah Afolabi Brown. As always, I have my lovely ladies here. Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Back into the building.
Yo.
I didn't even ask of traffic today because obviously it was a terrible
You know what happened.
rain.
Don't worry, we don't have government in that side. We're on our own. Wow. And God is helping us because when I pray, I actually find a way into and out of traffic. So I've learned a lot of shortcuts inside town. If they could just do the network of the roads in Agboju into the town and we'll come out at Navy Town, things will be better, but nobody's looking into it. So obviously, we in that area, we should vote wisely. That PVC, we should use it well. We don't have government.
Actually, I think everybody's focusing on elections now. They're not thinking
And
of
that's why, and you know, I used to complain about being abandoned by the past administration, and it's continuing this administration because someone should know that we have a situation on our hands and repair the ABC, the Amuwo Commercial Avenue. That would help from Ijesha.
But it's abandoned. I agree with you because
repair
I enjoy good roads.
There are networks. Yesterday, I couldn't even pass on the express.
Who can actually help push this thing.
The local government should be pushing that, okay, these networks, at least people can go this way and come out, but the roads are terrible. From Festac, I could have gone through the Commercial Avenue, come out at ABC, but nobody is looking into it. They know the traffic is on the road, but the alternatives
are not available.
The only conversation now is indirect or direct primary. That's
so
what
we don't have government. We don't have.
Nobody.
I went for rehearsal yesterday.
Yes.
I heard you're a star.
Nima is a natural.
Wow.
When you left, when you left, he even gave me an extra row. He said, please get Nima and tell her to do this extra one row for us. Please.
I did not. I'm not
there. Natural.
My client's job, I didn't finish at the office yesterday. I took it home. I didn't do it. I need to deliver that job this weekend. It's not done. So I'm not even interested in any extra room. So that was how the week was.
But it was good at least. So we're acting on Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday.
What
I
time?
haven't sorted my wardrobe or anything.
I haven't done that.
Idea.
What time is it?
I know it's evening. I don't know the exact.
Yes,
it starts by 3.
There are 2 time slots.
So we're acting twice?
No. I think we're acting in the main one. That'll be like later in the evening, the 6 o'clock one.
Okay.
We'll post it again today. Check on Twitter and on Instagram. You see the details.
Come and support
for it.
us. Oh.
Yes, because I'm acting on stage.
Yes, we are all acting on stage.
And we're good.
And I've never done it in my life before. I'm
so
really excited about this.
Like the 4 of us have actually never been on stage before.
Yes,
so
so
really, that's our first time. So.
How are you doing, Tokwe?
I'm very...
Aside from Black Image, what's going on?
Oh yeah. Truth is, I read a book. I'm reading a book yesterday. I'm about to buy it because I saw it in my friend's piece and I started reading it about the importance of teamwork by Robert Kiyosaki. Talking about how a lot of people have business ideas. We all know that like most businesses, 80% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. The next set, another 5 will fail in the next 5 years. So that there's a difference between having a business idea that can make you millions and being able to make that million from the idea. So you need a team of people dedicated to pushing you, from having good lawyers to having good accountants. And I'm somehow lost that do we have this kind of people in Nigeria? I'm sure there will be, but we don't know them. And a lot of Nigerian businesses need support of tax officials and of like NAFDAC registration processes. There are a lot of processes that are like bottleneck to squeeze you out.
I met a gentleman, I think it was last week, who's going to, he has a lot of, is a reservoir of knowledge on areas of things like this business, starting a business, sustaining business in Nigeria. So he's really going to help us out. So hopefully he'll be a guest on our show one of these days.
Yeah,
and
that would be good. Financial advisors, how to invest
your money. But these days I've been reading lots of books on
how to sustain the businesses. That's the
what are you doing?
Okay, first on Tuesday something scary happened. On the way back from school, my kid was picked up by the driver, and on their way back they had, a fender bender is what it's called, right? Or bender fender, I don't know. So he, when they got home, I noticed he had a bump on his head.
That's your son?
Yes, apparently he didn't have his seatbelt on, and I was really upset because if anyone that knows me, I am crazy about seatbelts.
Right.
I mean, when they leave the house, I'll still call, are you wearing your seatbelt? Do you have your seatbelt on? There's someone that goes with them to make sure.
So what happened?
And to think that 2 adults were in the car and a child moved from one point to the other and he didn't have the seatbelt on, it really, really upset me and it scared me. I had to sit my child down and tell him, your life is in your hands. Do you understand? The adult, yes, you have to remember.
Back to school.
And I'm the sort of mother that is like a helicopter mother. I'm always on, your case. And to think that sort of thing happened to me, especially on something that I talk about all the time. So I think we should try to
keep on talking.
We need to talk to our children. Yes.
When you do so much and then it still comes like, you didn't do enough to stop.
Right, I've been reading.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of things. Honestly, I'm not about Nigeria. I mean, there's so many people need to share more stories.
I'm smelling politics around.
It's not politics or anything. You just learn about this country, getting people, because it's important for our leaders to speak. Tell us what happened. You hear people's versions of what happened in 1993, what happened during the handing over to civilian government. When you really hear the politics that happens, you can't understand. So when David Mark is saying, I want to come back, you have an idea. When Atiku says, I want to run, you understand why he wants to run again, because you understand where he's coming from. These guys have been in this system for so long, and it's just like, okay, you know what?
I'm telling you, they've been there.
You snap out of it. That's what I'm saying.
It's not selling, but when you have information, you understand why you shouldn't do this, or why you should now join the campaign train and campaign against what you feel is wrong. Honestly,
but information, knowledge is power. We need to read about Nigeria, honestly, because they're not teaching history anymore in the school.
Not as well. They're
not as well. They're bad.
Best part of secondary school for me. Everything that I have is reserved.
Residual, yeah. Okay, let's go on a break. It's Thursday. We'll try to breeze through the front pages and then go to our gist for the day. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The Punch. Knox as group buys 45 million naira forms for Buhari. And he can't afford it now. Presidential aspirant drags APC, PDP, INEC to court. Picture here, a typhoon kills 11, destroys houses, vehicles, and telephone masts in Japan. Presidency to Atiku. Buhari not power drunk, but won't tolerate corruption. Robber jumps into Lagos Lagoon, escapes with loot. Boko Haram hijacks bus, abducts 20 passengers in Borno. We're discussing with 6 APC governors, says PDP. We'll use Osun poll to make statement against vote buying. Informant blames taxi driver for Clark House raid. FGOK 6 trillion naira 5-year national health plan, and EFCC arraigns Nigerians for impersonating U.S. Attorney General. This typhoon was really crazy.
Yeah.
At least 11 people died, but about 470 people were injured. And I mean, they've had months of landslides.
Japan has been under major crisis. And, you know, I was watching CNN and I saw they were saying that this is going to be a major one. This is going to be a major one. But, you know, it just makes you really grateful to God that we don't have such. Because imagine if this happens, it won't be 11 people dead. It will be thousands of people. And so our leaders should just focus on the economic one that is easily solved.
Yes, let us go to the robbers. Actually, it's a straightforward story. What happened to us?
So there was a one-chance situation and the RRS team blocked the bus that they usually carry out such actions. They arrested 3 of the partners in the deal, and one of them escaped, jumped into the lagoon, and sort of swam his way through. Right. And he had the loot with him. So they got 3 guys, but they didn't have anything recovered.
Is he like because those guys can swim.
I was interested in this.
Language,
in a story about the National Health Plan. I think you guys read that story.
The NHIS.
And it was NHIS. The 6 trillion naira has been approved for the next 5 years. What interested me more about that story was the fact that there was money allocated from 2010 to 2015, of which 52 targets were set aside. The country only achieved 2. So now it's been redone, and now I think they have about 5 targets and then 15 important points, but they now have 6 trillion has been earmarked for the next 5 years. But the interesting is that how do you have 52 targets for a period and only 2 were met in the health sector?
So the challenge has always been with funding and follow-up, you know, follow-up, follow-through. So you might, the minister of the minister that came on, Fashola, mentioned that, you know, they have this budget. It's a statement of intention, but the release of fund is not. Yes. So if you don't get the funds, you might have the budget to do this, but if you don't give me the fund, I can't do anything.
Okay, no, but didn't the NHIS,
No, this is different. Okay, this is holistic. This is the health.
To the nation, APC, Kano, Niger join Lagos for direct primaries. Picture here of Nigeria for 2019 World Team Cup in Tokyo. World Bank $600 million for Lake Chad Basin projects. Police apologize to Clark over raid. Group obtains 45 million naira APC form for Buhari. Okay, so...
And everybody's looking that group.
Clark, but the photo is in the New Telegraph, so that's why I'd like to take it.
Right, with Clark's story. That's a Clark.
No, you want to take it?
I want to take it in the story because of the photo there. Okay, so they paraded the informant that gave the wrong information that led to the searching Edwin Clark's house. No, it wasn't a whistleblower. It was an informant who had information about arms being moved into his house. And, you know, based on that, a police team raided his house and they found nothing. But someone thought he had legitimate information. He was in a taxi and heard people having a conversation that, look at the white Hilux full of arms being taken into Edwin Clark's house. And out of patriotism, he informed the police. Now, whether he was out of malice or out of patriotism, that is not my concern. I know that there's a protection policy that police must have for informants. So I don't understand why an informant is being paraded.
His name is
I don't understand how it's done. We are supposed to be encouraging people to come out to talk about crimes, to blow whistle, or, you know, to inform the police. The police must be able to have a punitive measure, no matter what. If they think it was malicious, they investigate that.
Yeah, in this case, the police made a mistake. You were given an information you should have verified.
No.
And then, wait. Secondly, the police likes to do this, where when is their mistake, they find a way to dump it on someone else. So for me, the informant did not make any mistake here. He gave you an information
that he heard immediately. Yeah, that he should have verified.
And then to parade him and almost arraign him and make him look like a criminal. Who else
do you know what is worse? What is worse is that they might even charge him, find him not guilty in a court, and then they would have done more damage to his person because his face is all over all the newspapers. I don't understand how they do these things. And they're supposed to be encouraging us to come out to talk to them.
Let's talk about the director.
The delegation to apologize.
Major headline about Kano, Niger joining the... So I hear that Lagos has opted for the direct primaries, according to The Nation. And Kano and Niger are also doing the same thing. Other states are still insisting that they're doing the indirect primaries.
Somehow, I feel that direct primaries might be cheaper, because you don't have to convene everybody in the same place. But it's also, people are saying that it might also be expensive because you would have to have inspectors and people that will be inspecting the process in different wards and in different areas. Whichever way, let it be purely democratic. In Osun,
and we think we got some good results. Let's move on now to Vanguard. Raid on Edwin Clark's home. We're back to the creek, says militants. Trouble sleep, Yanga go become, says militant general. Nigerians tired of your brand, APC tells Saraki. APC is scared of possibility of my presidential candidacy, says Saraki. Patients groan as lawsuit doctors down tools. No hiding place for defecting politicians, says Magu. AFG approves 6 trillion naira national health plan. Restructuring why Buhari is uncompromising, says presidency. Akwa Ibom, Akpabio's defection and Ubon's bounce.
Okay, so the doctors have finally gone ahead with their strike, their threat, 3-day warning strike. Patients were in hospital waiting for appointments. Of course, they're saying that they need more doctors. House officers need to be employed, resident doctors need to be employed, and the government has not listened to them or done anything about that.
I can say for a fact,
they got to this point now.
They need more doctors. It's a fact.
We can agree.
They need more doctors.
They are overwhelmed.
But the government cannot manufacture doctors, can they?
We have doctors. They don't employ them into the ministry.
Doctors are not in short supply. They are brain draining out of the country.
Let me quickly explain this, another part. We have doctors living and they're not being replaced. That's the second phase of the challenge.
We can't manufacture
They have doctors that can come into service. Doctors in service are living and they're not being replaced at the speed with which they are living. So the ones that are still available are now overworked, which would mean they would also run.
Yes, now they too will start running.
Anyway, I have a few family members that have
They're not well motivated.
And they're all doing nursing and doctor matters. All right, Daily Sun, how plot against Oshomole failed. That's direct primaries controversy. You see, I'm really confused. One papers are saying some people are doing indirect, others are saying they're all agreeing on indirect. So I'm really confused on this direct or indirect. Well, let's just see what happens. Flood renders 2,000 homes in Edo. 6 APC governors, 27 National Assembly members to join us soon, says PDP. Saraki APC trade words over presidential bid. Buhari wants Atiku as group pays 45 million naira to obtain president's nomination form. Ararome Izunaso negotiates with APGA to fight Okorocha. So people bought forms, a group actually bought the forms for our president.
For 45 million.
Something group.
And people are kicking against it. SDP is kicking against it. PDP is kicking against it, that the form is too expensive. And Obasanjo is saying that how can a party peg form at 27 million last election, and then suddenly what informs the change from 27 million to 45 million naira, and that the presidency couldn't afford 27 million. There's no major competition for him within the party now. Yet you're asking that the presidency should pay 45 million.
There's even a problem with the section 91, 9 and 10 of the Electoral Act, which says that no group must sponsor beyond 1 million. Okay. So this is 45 million. I think their lawyers should
groups,
be talking
maybe
to
groups, coalition of groups.
There's another, the headline, the main story, flood, 2,000 homes. 2,000 people have been rendered homeless in Edo State, Esako local government.
Yeah.
Area.
Yes.
My heart.
Yes. Farmlands.
I didn't read that paper.
Didn't have time. Farmlands and a really sad situation. And you know, when you were talking about the typhoon in Japan and you were saying, oh, thank God, this does not happen to us. I mean, things like this.
This is Okpekpe Road. In one community.
That's a Somali's place.
Oh.
That's not your side.
But my place, we actually have water problem. It's largely drought because it's very dry.
The thing is, I mean, over the past week, we've been hearing, we had heard reports saying that some of these areas were going to be flooded anyways. So why is it that when we know these things, we do not find a way to protect our people? You know, take them out of those areas during the time of the flood.
Studying the topography of that region. Well, it's here and here. They should be planning around that, but then they don't.
We just wait for another flood to come again and take everything.
We react. We don't plan for these things. Let's go on a break. When we come back, it's Thursday. Today, we're asking, is marriage an ultimate act of love? Stay with us. We're back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So it's Thursday, and we have this issue. There's a common belief among us that love must be a determining factor in getting married to anyone. But there are so many instances of people getting married to those they actually do not love, with the hope that the love will grow.
Of course.
After marriage.
It does grow.
There's also an instance of dating each other for so many years, but then getting married to somebody you met within like a couple of months after. So we ask, should marriage be the ultimate act of love?
Or is it?
Or should just be convenience? Join the conversation.
Is not.
Call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag TVC so we can read your tweets. I know I've had this battle. I think we actually have had this battle with, is it Jumoke? Jumoke always believes in this fairy tale love. You gotta love the person. So the butterfly, and I also talk about too. The butterflies, you have to just have that feeling of love.
The love is shaking your spirit.
And some of us are saying, okay, yeah, love is great, but listen, there are arranged marriages that even last for a long time. So why do we overemphasize love? Why do we underemphasize love? So let me get your views. You guys are Nima, want to go first?
Why Nima?
I'm ready, because I feel that marriage is very selfish. A lot of people go into marriage for selfish reasons. In most cases, it is not a show of love. Marriage is not a decision based on love. Few marriages actually happen because they genuinely love each other. They cannot live without each other, which is my ideal case for what marriage should stand for. But in our culture, and the reality we have is where men marry and men are told to marry because we have been told that at your age, you have a house, you have a car, you have a good job, you are still eating outside, go and marry. That is, get a cook. Your house is dirty. You are washing clothes by yourself. Go and marry. Okay, that is, you want a house cleaner. Hey, you are getting to 40. You don't have a child yet. So, go and get somebody to born for you. Do you understand? So, the list for marriage, the list on that list is love. The first thing is, can she have children? Is she mannered? Can she clean? Can she cook? So, when you now say that, if he loves you, he would marry you. It's not really true. Because if he loves you and he finds out you cannot have a child, he would not marry you.
Okay, my brief is different. My brief is for the guys who claim to love you, have a relationship with you for long, and marriage is not the ultimate. As where is this supposed to end? Where is that whole effort starting? Where is it headed? So a guy comes to you and at the end of it, like, but you know, you are choking me. You are whatever me. You know, this is just a relationship. I don't understand. It is from the get-go. You are approaching me. Excuse me. If you are not if you are not a matured person, ultimate is not in view, as in you are not mature, no, to think that that's where we are going. Don't even try it. Don't come close. And for ladies who think, okay, maybe I should do something for him to think I am worthy of love, that's where I have the problem.
But anyway, let me go to
marriage.
Let me come through in the span of a lot of young ladies, especially our modern millennials, who are there. This is their time. They're having fun, and they watch all these lovely movies by Tyler Perry, and they want to fall in love. They want that whole sexiness, and they all just forget that about the true essence. So they are looking for that fairy tale.
When Nima is going to
this is okay. So this is how it goes for me. For me, I think when you say the ultimate act of love is not getting married, it's staying in the marriage. Because we all come, as you said, with all our preconceived notions of what marriage should be. He should be, of course, tall, dark, and handsome. You are likely to get that. He should provide for us. He should be able to have babies. He should be willing to want to have babies. I mean, on this couch, we have sat down, we've discussed several things about how the church is trying to determine if a man can have children before, you can go ahead and have the child. If it's SS or AS, all those things. And then you now come into the marriage. And then every time you're compromising and almost getting resentful for compromising your position or, your dreams, you're compromising your career, compromising so many things to make it work. So for those that stay in that marriage, in spite of all those compromises, or of all your dreams that didn't come to pass, that for me is love. So that's to stay in a marriage that's where love comes in.
I totally agree with you, Miriam. And I also want to go back to where Nima was going to, because the issue, I want us to address the issue of the fact that men
just date,
being comfortable just dating. Because I've had a lot of friends who are single and they're dating people and dating men, and they have no intention of marriage. They only just, let us just stay together.
Okay, so here's my thought on it. And I feel when I was single, my opinion is I cannot date you if there is no possibility of marriage. That was my opinion. But somehow, few years down the line in marriage, I feel like I should change myself. Like I didn't have fun. I didn't...
You're too late.
You understand? I didn't go out. We didn't just get to know someone for knowing sake. You didn't get to experience life. You didn't go clubbing. You didn't go dancing. You didn't live every part of life.
Okay, I'll tell you about
what you didn't risk so much.
So my thought is that, why is it that we tie every relationship to marriage?
Fantastic question.
And it doesn't have to be about marriage. It can be you adding value to my life. You bringing me friendship.
What kind of value?
Let me explain. You adding value to my life. You're making, maybe I didn't want to go study a particular course and you say, go and study this, or you encourage me in studying, encourage me in finding other things about myself, interests that I don't have.
Marry someone else. How do you transfer emotions like that? So you're in a marriage, but all that you could remember, the best of times, the person who supported you is somewhere else. I don't understand.
Okay,
so I can't be in a relationship with someone. I didn't even try. I remember in the university, I used to say to my colleagues, the 4 walls of this university does not hold the husband for me until I looked outside of school. So my husband is the person that I want to remember when I want to think of, who supported me, who was there. So even for most of us in school then, we got married in school.
Okay, see, my own personal story is that, unlike a lot of ladies, I never had that dream of getting married someday. My dream was to one day have my child, a boy, I'd already planned it, a boy at a certain age, and then be financially independent, have my career. That was my dream. I never had all those fairy tale stories.
Wow.
So when I met my husband, I don't know, maybe I've talked about how he's so much older than me. Maybe that was one of the reasons I thought, okay, it might not end up leading to that marriage. So this was someone I learned a lot from. This was someone that supported me in so many ways. So marriage was not the end goal. And for him, I guess, coming out of who he had been married before, maybe coming out of that, he didn't see that as his end goal as well.
You were just
but
friends.
We were friends. I learned a lot from him. But eventually, when we finally decided to get married, I was happy that I did have my child within a marriage with the person that I have my child with. Do you understand? So that pressure of marriage wasn't there when we started, but we were able to develop a friendship.
I want to go. The pressure of marriage. So you meet a new guy. Most guys run away from women because once you meet them, you can see all over their body what if they marry. So it's more like, take me to the house. Okay, I want to meet your parents. And just come and meet my mom. My mom doesn't like me dating without you meeting my parents. So, my mom doesn't like it. My mom has been asking, what's been calling me. The guy already gets the feeling like, hold on, I don't even know you yet well enough to think of living my rest of my life with you.
Just pause for a quick second. the flip side of that. You date somebody and you're not talking marriage, you're being very, very natural, you're being very yourself. And then it comes in. It lingers.
No,
and you've gotten 5 years.
And you realize that I cannot live without this person. Then you say, can we, why are we staying apart? Why are we still staying apart?
That conversation, wouldn't it be too late?
Start with the conversation from the beginning, so you know it's a most likely end. This is the problem. We talk about example now. So you've been in this relationship, and while you're thinking you shouldn't be leading to marriage, just flip one person, not the two. One person just thinks, no, I can't live without this person, and the other person is still thinking we're having fun. And you put all your emotions into that bank that
because your ultimate is marriage. Shouldn't be.
No, just like marriage.
Your ultimate should be the best of you.
It wasn't your ultimate, but at some point, when emotions are so thick. I didn't marry my husband from dating, so I couldn't have said I was shaku loving at the beginning. Shaku loving. But today, I can't imagine a life without him. It happened in the marriage. That's what I'm saying. If we're in a relationship and he's not going to the... Okay, I have a set of ideals that I must keep. If it's not meeting up, there's no point.
Yoruba has a saying. I'll give you room.
So there's even a worry slang. There's a worry slang. Let me wait now. Let me what's in it for you. There's a worry slang for house girl, sweep house, wait wife. So you've been your girlfriend, sweep house, wait wife. You've been the girl in the relationship 9 years. You put everything. Your emotions are there, and the guy is just thinking, well, you know, we didn't discuss marriage from the beginning. At the end of it, 2 weeks, he meets another girl and thinks, this is the girl for me. All your 9 years investment.
But that means you're not the girl for him. Yeah. So will you now marry him? So and then you will live a life of regrets. And every time you will keep thinking you're not the right one. And you will show you.
For that to happen.
The point is, she's not smart. 9 years, you not see the guy is not ready. Okay, if you really want marriage, you would have moved on.
I mean, but you're saying we should know. It should not be the ultimate of love.
No, if that's your desire, if your desire is to get married, when you see that this man is not the kind of person that will marry me, 4 or 5 years down the line, what are you waiting for? 4 years. 4
years. Hang in there. 2 day conversation. Okay, hang in there. Let's take a quick break. Let's stay with us and be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Increases, you can do anything.
Right, thanks for staying with us. I think I have Justin from Ikeja. Are you still there, Justin? You've been holding for a while.
Not Justin.
Justice. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think I want to really contribute to this because I have to tell you of a fact that the problem we're having today is not the men, it's mainly from the ladies.
Okay.
Because today, whether we like it or not, about 75 to 80% of ladies are desperate of marriage. In fact, visit our universities today. A girl that got admission year 1, go and check their discussion. It's all about marriage.
Stop.
Everybody wants to marry.
So why should they be discussing
by
girls?
act or by omission.
They should be
and
having
also the families are also not helping matters. Because at times you see a mother will besiege on the child. You're getting old, you're 20, you're 25, you're 30. When are you bringing a man and all the rest? Before you know it, they become desperate. And the issue of love is no longer an issue. I've interviewed a whole lot of ladies. They'll say, no, don't worry, when they marry, the love will come. But you discover that it doesn't work that way.
But our mother's married and the love came.
Every woman today, in fact, let me tell you the truth, if you want to accept the truth, the highest achievement a girl I have discovered in Nigeria today wants to make is to marry.
Thank you very much, Justice. You see,
Justice is not handling the issues of premarital sex, sexual urge between certain age gap. He's not addressing those issues. So is he saying that a girl who wants to do these things just go ahead and be having them while you're saying marriage is not the goal, and then you live life, you get to a certain age, and then you decide, okay, all that I've done should just be wiped away. Some girls make damaging mistakes during that age because, you know, they didn't put the picture in front.
Okay, Nima, I agree with you. Also, if you look at the flip side, some people get married early, get into marriage, have their kids before 25, and then they realize that they've lost almost their youthful...
Because their values are different.
Once they're in marriage, they start cheating on their husbands. Because
no, that's a value
issue. Getting thrown at
that's
them.
About values. That's about values.
First of all, dating does not necessarily mean having sex with
Good.
someone. Wait,
Thank you.
And I say it all the time because I say to people, because for me, I would advise any younger, I advise them all the time, date. You need to know different sorts of people.
Absolutely.
You need to know the sort of person you like, and you
Fail
do that
forward.
by dating.
Experiment.
So that is aside. Then he was also talking about desperation, which we need to address. That a child, I remember in secondary school, all my friends talked about was that wedding day, the wedding dress. I just could not. Yes, but we need to talk about it. Our young girls think that that is what their life is about. I'm 21,
Yes.
I'm 25, I'm 27, I should be married by now.
Maria, those 2 days are so important that you mentioned. What was the first day?
Dating.
Dating. Now, it's important that young people understand that beauty of dating. I dated different guys, and I can proudly say it. Yeah. Because I left Nigeria at the age of 15, I came back at the age of 24. Between that age, my friends, I've done the clubbing, I did it well. And I had enough background home training to know where my limits were.
Exactly.
So I dated well.
Thank you.
I can count the list of people that I went to movies out with, we hung out together, we went clubbing together, we did everything together, not sex. However, then when it was time...
that.
Not sex, we didn't have sex. Because if my husband can tell you, ask my husband, he'll tell you. He met Obamimbe. So the point I'm trying to make is that enjoy yourself, have fun. Dating shouldn't always have to have sex in it. Exactly. But then when you're ready to settle down, know that your dating is now become deliberate. You now know who is ready and who is not ready.
Can I say I didn't get married too early, but I'm an only child. And I grew up with the awareness of the fact that my parents expected me to get married early. So every time I met a guy, it was through the sense of, is it a marriageable person? Can I marry you? If I cannot marry you, I flip through and I move on. Okay. And I got married. And somewhere along the line with discontent that happens in all marriages, even though I have a shaku, my love is still shaking me till this moment, I still feel like maybe if I had, because the point is, as you're a young person, you're supposed to experience life.
Let me take this call from Abuja. Morning, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Please go ahead, Daniel.
All right, I want to make a contribution. The contribution is very, very simple. These days, you see most ladies, I've been in a relationship, but I'm not married yet. I've been in a relationship, and because of the relationship, I found out there are some things that I couldn't take. But this girl was not saying it that way. All she was just saying it was that let's lead to marriage. But me, I'm not saying it that way. But over time, I found out that this girl might not be the person for me, the kind of woman that I want. But to her, is that this relationship should end in marriage. But she was not saying the fact that, okay, there are some things that she needs to learn.
Daniel.
But how
Daniel.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me? What was your specifics of the woman that you can marry from the one as a young man? Did you have a specifics of, okay, if I want to end up, this is the kind of woman I want to marry? So that when you met the girl, before you people were dating, you could have told her that you did not meet it. That conversation would have started. It's a 2-day conversation. You look at her, she doesn't meet it. Could you have decided early so that you save everybody waste of time?
I'm a very blunt person. I'm a very blunt. So from the very first start, I told her this is the kind of woman that I wanted.
So why was it dating?
I told her this is it, but she has this low self-esteem and she just wanted it to be marriage. But me, I was not saying it that way. But after a while, you just couldn't continue with the whole stuff, and I have to keep it. But my point is that most ladies should stop being desperate. It's not every relationship that you fall into that will lead to marriage.
Thank you, Daniel. Let's address the issue of desperation. How can you be desperate and how can you not act desperate, but you still want that marriage?
Mora, let me explain desperate to you what you don't understand. So a desperate girl meets a guy. This guy has everything. I want to marry him. The first thing she does, she comes to his house. She's not a good girl. She cleans up. She's giving him the impression. She even gives him the sex. So I'm doing everything.
That's desperation.
Desperation goes to the point she gets pregnant and says, okay, now I'm pregnant. No. Won't you marry me? That's desperation.
That's extreme.
No. That is the entire all. I'm taking it all into
So when you're not desperate, what do you do?
No, well, I want to talk about desperation in a little different way, yes. Because you can be desperate. You hear men, they'll say they can actually see the desperation before you even come. Do you understand? So it's not even about...
So why date?
No, it's not even about getting pregnant or not getting pregnant. It's that everything you do, you're not happy, you're not comfortable. You can even see all the signs in the man that this is not what you want. But you are willing to stay in that relationship, maybe through abuse, through emotional or anything. That is desperation. So it's not really about having sex.
So it's not about marriage. If it's about marriage, you look for another person to marry at all costs.
So I've said this thing that there's more to a human. Women are human beings, and we need to understand that the ultimate life of a woman is not being a wife. That's not your ultimate goal. It is a beautiful part. I'm enjoying my marriage. I'm happy. I love being a mother, but I'm a woman. And if I'm not fulfilled as a woman, I will be a bad wife, I'll be a bad mother. So every woman is looking at marriage and becoming a wife as the ultimate, without understanding that if you are not a fulfilled woman, when you enter that marriage, you'll still be frustrated and unhappy.
You see, there's a word that I would always thank our DJ for showing me that small secret that a lot of people, I share it a lot. People don't catch it, only a few people catch it. And he says that if you want peace as a woman, earn your husband's respect. Earn your man's respect. How do you earn the respect? When you have value for yourself.
I'm telling you.
Have value for who you are as a person.
We have gotten where we are going.
Wait.
See,
if you have value, you're not desperate.
So you're not desperate. You're a young lady.
I will bring it to my context.
Irrespective of him.
Thank you.
He respects you.
So I met my husband and I was trying to matchmake him with a family member. I said to him, I have someone that will fit you. And the guy looked at me. I had carried myself the way I should have and insisted, if it is not you, there's no point going on. It didn't happen in 10 days. In less than 2 weeks, we had this conversation. So it didn't happen in 10 days. He knew from get-go, seeing me that was what he wanted. And he kept saying this to everybody. He stood on that ground. In fact, that's the most mature man in the world for me.
This call for
he
Michael.
knew what he wanted and I met it. That's it.
Right. Michael, are you there?
Yes, I'm still there.
We'd like to hear from women. Men, go ahead, Michael.
Well, let's hear them.
Let me check Twitter.
Michael, go ahead, please.
Hello?
Don't go with your TV. Listen to us directly. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm there. All right, what I want to say is hello?
Oh, no, we can't keep waiting. You see, Morayo, these things happen in different ways, but the truth is, back to the question of the day, is marriage really the ultimate show of love? No, because if you look at the cultural preparation women get prepared for, it is that when you marry, you have children is a sign of responsibility. Being a Mrs. somebody shows you are responsible. You can have children within the confines of marriage. That's something that will take care of you. We don't raise our women to take care of themselves. We don't raise them to believe that they are self-sufficient, as in, I can actually grow up, add value, become the bank GMD. We don't raise women with that mindset. We raise women to become married, have children, and nurture family.
Let me let
Yeah, but I want to come to the thing that Nima has been hounding all since, which is a 2-day conversation. I don't understand this 2-day conversation. Someone just called us to say he has been in a relationship with someone, and we know how that can happen. You're in a relationship with someone, and it takes a bit of time for you to actually become yourself, allow yourself be true, and then or understand the person. So when someone says, I met someone, and then 3 months after I realized she was not the woman for me, I mean, it's not a 2-day conversation.
Okay, let me take this call from Yakub. Yakub, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I think for me, I go with Sister Nima. The kind of definition that we give that desperation, I go with that. You see, some ladies, before you even approach them, you will see that desperation because, number one, maybe their age of 25, close to 30. At their home, the pressure is coming from every angle that you have to get married and all that. And then they will bring those
because he has no life.
That's number two. I can tell you, a lot of ladies now, they are also desperation to get married because of the pressure. That is the truth about it. Number one is this. If you see a lady, and then as a man, I want to give you this secret. If you want to earn a lot of respect from your man or your guy, if a guy pursue you in time he wants to get married to you, and then he pursue almost 1 or 2 years before God married to you, I can tell you, he will follow you more than anything.
Wow.
Because the reason is this: if you know that the quality that you have is there, and then because there's some quality man like, and then wherever they see those quality in a lady,
let's take some tweets. Okay. Thank you very much, Jakub.
Okay, so I'll take some tweets. So Mr. Adebayo is back again. He hasn't tweeted in a while, but so he says, you don't get married to what you detest, except on deception and cover-up. Marriage should be the ultimate act of love. Being with the person you want to share your life with for the rest of one's life should serve a purpose. And it also goes to...
In 2 days, you know who you
Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take more tweets. Stay with us and be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
All right, so the studio went crazy when during the break because everybody had an opinion.
I just cannot get Duma.
Something that one of our cameramen said that you date a young lady and she doesn't expect you. Wait, in the first 1 month, she's already asking you where is this head, and he's wondering, you're not even allowed me to kiss you or even hug you. Are you already asking me?
As in, you want to chop the soup before you price the market.
Soup. Just taste the soup.
Before you price the market, you want to start chopping soup.
Just taste the soup, not chop.
Okay,
Taste.
you see him, eh? He's a single bachelor, he's enjoying life. That's what he will say. See, as a young girl, you have the... That's why I say it's a 2-day conversation. Doctor, I know you want to blow me, but let me explain. Yes. 2-day conversation. So when your mates are writing jam, face jam. When your mates are in university, face university. Don't tell your parents you're in university and you're still trying to chop life and date guys before you know. If you want to have fun on your own account. So you go to the beaches, you go to the clubs, you can afford it. Take yourself out. When you're ready for marriage, you take serious notice of the guys in view.
Let me talk about
Pick them based on your specifics of someone you think you can spend the rest of your life with. Okay. Don't go and be having a conversation of guessing.
It's not a 2-day conversation.
It's a 2-day conversation.
And that is why we have issues in marriage. You marry and then the husband says you cannot work. I know someone whose wife has said that she's pretty, she wants to be on TV. Her husband says she cannot be on TV. How can you be on TV? How can you run that business? How can you be working late at night? How can you be going for a meeting? So our entire life is reduced to being a wife because they had a 2-day conversation. You don't know the kind of person he is. You don't know how he will nurture you. Because you cannot do that in 2 days.
Let's take a few tweets.
So you can have a 9 years conversation and you will not get the answers because you don't know the answers you're looking for.
You are not the one on the show that is that espoused as soon as you got married, you were called madam. Okay. Raimi Baba today said, it's good to marry early, but the best to marry right, regardless of the time it happens. Ehosa Ruth says, I am 18 and I'm always being approached by guys every day, but I've made up my mind to remain a virgin. Not because I'm scared, but because the least respect I can get from him is the fact that I have my pride and dignity. E. Christopher says, marriage is not the most important thing in life. Mind you, it takes forever to know someone. Why not take the time, discover who you are by knowing your temperament, traits, love language, and core values? With this, I think you won't waste your time.
Let me take Abby, then we'll take more tweets. Abby, are you there from Maryland?
Yes, I'm here. Good
Go
morning.
ahead, please. Morning.
Good morning. First time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. We have a girl. Good.
Yes, I would like to contribute to the fact that I go with what Nema says. I totally agree with her. And I want to go back to what your topic is as well, that in marriage, is marriage the ultimate act of love? I mean, we're talking about marriage, not relationship, not dating, not hangouts. So marriage is for people who are actually matured in mind, who have a vision, who have a dream, who have a focus in life. So if showing love to them, you love somebody, what would you be doing with the person if you're not going to end up with the person? I met my husband and I didn't even know him. We met, and right from the first day we spoke, he knew in his mind that this is this girl and I want to just marry her. About me, I was like, I don't even know you have dreams that I want to do and all those things. I want to achieve so many things in life. But I had to go with his own desire, his own dream, his own focus, which is, I see a serious, responsible man. And today, 70 years down the line, he still feels the best decision ever that
Thank you very much, Abby.
I'd like to take that judge's tweet. He said, marriage should be an act of love. Marriage is not the ultimate act of love. In some cases, a male and a female who plan to get married to each other end up demonstrating that ultimate act of love by going their separate ways. Okay. So he is saying...
Let's take lots of tweets. I want us to take lots of tweets.
Truth hurts. I hate marriage with passion. Women won't be happy in this society until we stop allowing culture and religion rule the way we live our lives. Marriage doesn't give happiness. It takes more from men and women. Nasiru Aliyu says, today girls are there rushing men to get married. Marriage is for keeps. The man will grow you. Said says, just as Nima said, you should define your relationship at the very beginning. Okay. Marriage is what you make of it. There is nothing as a perfect marriage.
So that one is not a tweet, but I just need to address this, which is, I find that there's a danger in this conversation where you say to someone, have a 2-day conversation. And that is why some people would say, okay, she's already talking about marriage. What can I do to get, what I need to say something to her to keep her in the relationship. So I do not think, please, I do not think, young girls listening, I don't think 2 days is enough for you to have that important discussion or decide or determine that you are going to end up with somebody.
It takes the maturity with which you have the conversation, though. Marriage is not, to the Inspirations for Life is saying, marriage is not the ultimate of love. Rather, it's a union of lovers where it is not, where is it not a do or die affair? It's just a decision making, rather or not. People keep relationships open for marriage, but it is not good because it's only God that gives a wife.
See, at the end of the day, before we just get all over the place and so that we don't just talk over each other, marriage in itself involves a lot of compromise, so love should be involved. But love itself does not hold the marriage, and we've discussed that countless times on this couch, that is about commitment. However, when people get desperate, they make wrong decisions. And it happens over and over again. You get desperate, you make a wrong decision, and then you're frustrated and in that space. So don't get desperate. Have a conversation with yourself to know, what do I want to live in what kind of life do I want to live, even in marriage? That way, if I meet a man, I understand, does this man help me become who I want to be? If it doesn't work, then you can move away from that relationship. But when you're desperate, it won't work, and you keep on holding and searching for somebody that will help you get there.
And that was what Morai was saying, that how then do you not be desperate? You don't become desperate when you now work on yourself. As she said, you're writing jam, concentrate on your school, if that's where you are. Concentrate on building yourself, concentrate on developing yourself. And then people will meet you, whoever your person is, will meet you at the point where you're developing yourself and growing yourself.
You're on track.
So there's no desperation. There's no desperation.
So in developing yourself, when you get to that point when you think marriage is a thing that you want to do, you prepare yourself for the kind of specifics that you want to prepare yourself with. Remember that life also happens. So you end up marrying someone who loves you, who you've dated and everything, and then life happens. Things start to happen you're not ready for.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you prepared yourself for the things that you want in a man, you would know how to go about it. Most people just, I'm in love, he broke my heart. Those are not conversations for me.
I always advocate for, listen, living your life before you get into marriage. I know you might disagree with that, Nima, but I really do feel that young people must have lived, do things. Your counterparts around the world are doing so much with their lives. Don't just leave secondary school, enter university, and you're looking for a husband. That should be the least. You should, because just like you said, the jam bites, they're all looking to who am I going to start with? Have an ambition, do something. They want to create something. Now everyone's talking entrepreneurship.
Come up with an app.
Find a skill, do something great. Be a woman. I found lots of married women who is after married, they started tasting alcohol.
Morale,
after married, they started doing all these things.
They don't have values. I'm telling you.
So it's a value issue.
It's a value issue. When you have values, there's no way in life that you are, no position in life that you are, that you will compromise and do the wrong things. It's and say because you didn't do them when you wanted to do them.
It's not the wrong thing.
I don't understand. Which life are you chopping again? At that point that you want to now chop and forget that you have to be the role model for your children.
I think maybe
what should be your goal at that point?
Maybe the example she's using about clubbing is not just about clubbing and
it's about working.
It's about working. It's about developing yourself. All those things are part of the life experiences.
We have successful married women who built successful careers after they got married, and they're holding their ground.
And many more that did not have a career without marriage.
Who did not want to.
Many more did not have a career without marriage.
It's about the maturity with which you take the decision.
Strive to be a successful woman.
Up on that maturity, you have to have that mind in your head that works well when you take those decisions.
All right.
Yeah, maturity comes with experience in my case.
We have to wrap up this conversation. Please, young ladies out there, especially young men too.
Having conversations.
Marriage is great, it's fantastic, but it should be done. It should be done with a lot of maturity, as Nima has rightly said. And people, depending on the phase you are in your life, focus on where you are. Value yourself, because it's only a valued woman that a man values. When he values you, you earn the respect. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I love my husband.